Alright, go ahead.
Okay, so a lot of these MMA guys and like Dana White and Joe Rogan and stuff, they always talk about like Aikido and stuff. Like, man, that doesn't work because it's not tested in the ring. And they always talk about that. Like, man, that guy, he's not real because he's not tested in the ring. So like to them, like the ring is the ultimate test. And I know you don't agree with that, but why don't you agree with that? Because there is a thing where they say like you need to know how to take pressure and get hit in order to know if it works. So why don't you think that's true? Like, why do you think that safe sparring is equivalent to going in the ring, or better actually to going in the ring in terms of testing the effectiveness of your skills?
The testing is important, so I'm not going to refute that. So sparring is extremely important for martial artists. But even Bruce Lee, but he was a teenager at the time, he would test it on the streets. So if you're in high school, you might test it in high school when you get in fights. I mean, if you've gotten in fights in school, that's like your test. So when you get in real fights out in the streets, that's the test. That's the ultimate test. That's the real test. But obviously, it's not going to be intelligent or spiritual for me to start fighting people out in the streets, even when there's no reason to fight.
Right.
So what you do is you connect with other martial artists or other people that want to learn martial arts, and you test it with them, and that's where sparring comes in. So it's all about testing. It's just about testing in an intelligent and safe way. I mean, I don't have a problem with the testing. They gotta test. It doesn't have to be in a cage. It doesn't have to be in a ring. It could be in the middle of a football field. It could be inside a room. It could be out by the beach. The test could happen anywhere. So basically, a fight could happen anywhere. And whatever that's happening within that cage is not a real fight either, because it's all arranged and pre-organized and marketed and promoted, and there's medical staff standing by. There's a referee there. There's an audience. It's all pre-organized. It's all planned out. So that's not a true test either, because there's no room for something spontaneous. There's limitations in the rules, in the whole arrangement. You can't even test your techniques against somebody that's 50 pounds more than you, or 100 pounds more than you, or that's in a different age bracket or age group or a different gender. You can't even test it against who you want to test it against. So it's not really scientific. It's entertainment, and they know that, and you know that it's for entertainment. That's why it's so popular, because people want to be entertained, but that's not the science. The science is a real test. Now, if I wanted to, if you agreed, we could test a real fight right now. We don't need a cage. We don't need a ring. We don't need an audience. You don't even need a camera. I could get in a real fight with you right now, and we could test out everything that we know, behind closed doors if we wanted to.
Right.
If we want to, then if we want to, we could film it. But then then it could be like evidence, potentially maybe evidence of a crime, evidence of abuse, evidence of something to be used in court for suing. So say we tested it, and then, say I break your nose, break your teeth, and then you got $3,000 of medical bills, and you don't have money to pay that, so you want me to pay that, and then you sue me, and then now the courts get involved, and they want to pull the tape of what happened. They see, was this arranged? Where's the contracts? Did he agree to this? It just gets very complex. But these people in the ring, these people in the cage, you got to remember, they're getting paid millions of dollars or thousands of dollars to do that. They got medical staff waiting by. They could receive the damage knowing that, hey, I'm going to be taken care of by this medical person. I don't got to pay out of pocket for it. In addition, I'm taking this punch because I'm going to get paid to take this punch. So it's like, it's just not an intelligent way to test anything, really. So testing is important. I'm not going to deny that. When you see those Aikido videos, because I'm not supporting and promoting Aikido either. You see those Aikido videos, it is pretty ridiculous. Not just Aikido, but some other styles where they're like, they'll be like, oh, you see a demo, and then you go like this, and then like 10 people fly across the room, and then it's not real.
Right.
It's like they're trying to like fake things out like this, or they make it seem like it's a magic show or something like that. Like, I'm not promoting that. Like, in a way, I would almost promote the sport fighting over that, boxing or even the cage fighting, because that is humiliation. It's embarrassing. Like, you got a black belt on, and then you're not even in shape, you can't fight, but then you're pretty much telling the person to respond in a certain way to make people think that you're more skillful and talented than you really are. But in a way, that's what actors do too. So we could talk down about Aikido and be like, that's a bunch of bullshit, and then you like, this all fake, MMA fighters just whoop your ass, and they probably would. But you look at some of the actors are like that too, because if they're not a real martial artist, then why are they whipping up everybody's ass in there like it's nothing? Because then you got like, say Angelina Jolie just destroying everybody, but she's not a martial artist. She's a woman on top of that. Like what? She's just gonna beat everybody up? Like, is that real? Like, okay, let's put a cage fighter against her in real life, see what happens, right? Or even Brad Pitt or Denzel Washington, they're like whooping everybody up. I mean, I understand if you got weapons, then it could happen. You could use a weapon very proficiently and kill everybody. Like kind of what John Wick does with Keanu Reeves. Yeah. It's believable because there's weapons. But if there's no weapons, and then you have Keanu Reeves just whipping up everybody, and he's just like the number one of the whole movie, this is fake. This is bullshit. This is like Aikido. This is just like, they act like they can fight, but then when it comes down to it, they can't fight for shit. They can't even do a pull-up. They can't do a push-up. They're not even fit. And then they're acting like they're like the best fighters in the world. Like, I don't promote that. I speak against that highly. That's an embarrassment to the martial arts. It's a disgrace to the martial arts. It's disrespectful to the martial arts. But in the same token, what the cage fighters are doing, that is not something to be proud about either. Because what's the difference between the cage fighters and the prison fighters? Or these people fighting in the streets, these gangbangers, having all these tattoos everywhere, going in and out of jail for drug violations or whatever violations, getting locked up by the police, fighting in jail, fighting in the streets, fighting in the ring, fighting in the cage. What's the difference? Oh, I'm a cage fighter, I'm higher than that? No, like, you're just as bad as all these other criminals. A martial artist is not a cage fighter, but he's not the fake martial arts Aikido dude either. He's somebody that's really talented and skillful, but he is a good person, a good heart, and he's not going to hurt you unless he really has to. So he's representing he's representing skill, talent, wisdom, truth, love. It's all within him. And he will only use it when absolutely necessary. It might be like a police officer. It might be a military person. It might just be somebody, a real martial artist walking down on the streets. And he gets attacked, but out of compassion, he doesn't take the person's life. Out of compassion, he doesn't break the person's nose. He handles the situation to get out of the threat, but he doesn't create more injuries than necessary. You know when to control yourself. So the testing, I'm not opposed to testing. It's extremely important. That's why I do the safe sparring. As far as the safe sparring that I do compared to what they do in the cage, I honestly feel that what I do is more effective for the streets because there really is no limitations, and you can really take it to the highest level that you want to take it to, depending on who you're working with. Because I'm telling you, certain people that I work with, I could tell them, do whatever you want to me. Choke me out, break my arm, break my knee, punch me in the face, break my nose, break my teeth. Try it. Try to do it. I bet you won't, right? And then I'll take care of them. I don't necessarily have to do that to them, but they could try to do it to me, and then they're going to give up. And out of compassion, I'm not going to do it to them. You're allowed to use your closed fist. You're even allowed to, even in drastic terms, go ahead and use the brass knuckles, and then I'll fight you. And then I will hold back to protect you. Even though you won't try to protect me, I'll still protect you. That because I have that little level of skill, but it depends on who I'm dealing with. But if you got a really, really fit, talented person strung up on steroids and he wants to fight me, then I can't do it like that. Then if he's coming all out on me, then I got to come all out on him. But I'll tell you, I'm trained to kill. I'm not trained to win. So if I feel like threatened, I'll kill before I'm killed. So I'm not afraid to kill. So if I get him in that choke and it's a real fight, I'll kill him. I'm not even gonna let him tap out. That's how I train. So it's not a game to me. So I don't jump into the cage and wait for the tap out. No, I'm out in the streets, and if you want to fight for real, then let's fight to death. Like, that's how I am. Because I don't want to fight you, but if you really want to fight me, then I'm going to kill you. That's how I am. You either kill me or you'll be killed. And that's how Bruce Lee, in his movies, almost every single martial artist he killed at the end. He killed Kareem, he cracked Danny Sano's neck, he killed Chuck Norris. Every single martial artist he killed, because if you don't kill him, you better know for sure they're going to come get you after. They're not going to refrain. They're going to retaliate and they're going to kill you eventually. You know, that's what happens in the gangs, you know. Or you think you're going to shoot a person in the leg and be thinking everything is going to be all right? No, he's going to recover. He's going to shoot back. He didn't kill you. You shot me in the leg. I'm going to, you're done. Like, let me get my friend. Let me kill you while I'm in the hospital. That's what happens out there in the streets. So I don't want any problems with anybody. But I know what's real. I train with guns. I train with knives. I train in the real stuff. Some of the stuff in the cage is dangerous. But they're playing around with dangerous techniques, making it seem like it's a game. But out there in the streets, it's not a game. I'm a small person. So I have every right to take another person's life if they make me feel threatened. So I go in front of a judge, and they see my stature, and they see somebody that's 200, 220 pounds, solid muscle, full of steroids, trying to kill me, then he'd be like, hey, you know, whatever you need to do to kill him, go ahead and do it, because you have that right. You have the right to protect your life when somebody's trying to take your life. And that's what I train for. So mine is not just as real as it gets. This is the real. I train in the real. You know, I'm not afraid to kill somebody. I don't want to kill somebody, but I'm not afraid. You know, because I know that the law will back me up. And I know that up there, whoever, God or whoever is protecting me and saying, you need to do what you need to do. I'm a compassionate person, but there's violent people out there. And I train to prepare against those violent people. And the way that I do it is I train with people that are my friends, my students, and people that are good people. I train with them to prepare for them. But I don't take my anger out on people that I care about.
Right.
You know, I'm not gonna break my son's nose, break my son's teeth. I mean, think about it. When you spar, you're gonna hurt your own son, you hurt your own father. No, you could play fight, but don't go too far. Like, who's gonna pay the medical bill? You know, you and your brother. You know, you just broke his kneecap. You tore his ACL. Like, who's gonna pay all that medical stuff? Now you gotta pay it out of your pocket. If you gotta pay for their medical bills, do you really want to hurt them? You know, but in the cage, it's not like that. You know, it's all arranged to put people against each other where you're not fighting a family. You're not fighting a family member. You're fighting another person, and you're trying to hurt each other to entertain the people. But all the money is there to support that. So then, oh, you know, we'll take care of the medical bills. Don't worry about that. And on top of that, you take this punch. I mean, look at Ronda Rousey. She just goes in a cage for maybe like 15 seconds, and then she comes out with like $3 million or whatever the case may be. I mean, I'll take a beating for $3 million. You know? I mean, it's just like, you know, it's all money.
Yeah.
I'd love to take a beating for $3 million. Shit, I'll take a beating for $300,000. You know what I'm saying? To go in the cage for 15 seconds. I mean, that's a dream of a martial artist. Shit, you know, I just block all day, take a few hits, $3 million. You know, Mayweather, just sparring, he's not even hitting that hard. Just ta-ta-ta-ta, moving around the cage, dancing. $2 million, $200 million, $300 million. I mean, that's a dream. I would love to dance around the ring, dance around the cage for $300 million, you know. So it's not that every single person in there is a bad person. You know, it's just, it's a business, it's making money.
Right.
You know, and I would love to put out a safe sparring video on YouTube and make $1 million off of that. I mean, because essentially, it's just entertainment. WrestleMania, they're just choreographed, staged fight scenes to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Movies, Enter the Dragon, Fearless, choreographed fight scenes and a storyline to make hundreds of millions of dollars. Matrix. So movies, This is just another way to make money, but it's just not an intelligent way.
Right.
So you just look at, they're dying earlier, they're getting concussions, they're getting CTE. There's an article out there even admitting that McGregor, his fear is to get CTE. He's in fear of what it's doing to his brain, and he's a younger guy. So you got one of the top famous MMA guys that's afraid of the CTE. See what happened to Muhammad Ali. You know, look at Mike Tyson, the way he talks. Mayweather can't even read a book. You know what I mean? Like, look at these boxers and how they're talking, and that's not intelligent. You know, look at the scientists. They don't never go into the cage. They never go to the ring, but they got that brain. You know, they have intelligence. They're creating the guns to shoot and kill these fighters. So they got the cars. They coming up with the Teslas and the BMWs and the Jaguars. They got the guns, the AR-15s. All the smart people, they know how to kill the violent people. You know, like, it's not even about putting your hands on them. You can see Secret Service just pull out a gun, just take you off, wearing a suit, tie, and everything. They just off you, kill you. Hands don't even get dirty. Like, that's the reality, like, using technology to overcome these violent people.
Right.
Like a pit bull, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't think that that you need to get hit to properly test anything, right? Because that's like what they always say, like, oh, you need to get hit, like you've never been hit.
Yeah, you got to get hit, but hit in the areas that are trained to get hit. Like I specified in the other videos, like, not in the head, but you could get hit in the arms, you get hit in the fist, get hit in your thigh, get hit in your shin, get hit in your stomach, get hit in your chest, get hit in your arm. Pretty much anywhere in your body, you could get hit. Just don't get hit in the head. But I didn't say that you can't hit to the head. Go ahead and hit me to the head. But don't make a closed fist. If you want to make a closed fist, then I'll make a closed fist. So if you're not going to hold back, then I won't hold back. Then it becomes a real fight. So I'm saying you got to get hit, but you don't have to get hit like with such a great amount of force that you die.
Yeah.
Or you end up getting knocked out. Because I'm saying you got to get hit, but then my thing okay, you guys are getting hit, but why the hell are you guys wearing gloves? It's the same. They're using the gloves to protect themselves from getting hurt too much. So they're protecting themselves too. I'm just saying, when you spar, don't hit so hard so then you protect your health. They're trying to protect their health too. That's why they're wearing gloves. That's why they have mouth guards. You know, I'm just saying, like, protect your health when you're sparring. Don't hit too hard.
Right.
Or don't get hit too hard. Like, don't let them hit you too hard. Hit me. Go ahead and hit me. Hit me as hard as you want. But you're not going to be able to, because I'm so good at what I do that you're not going to be able to hit me. But that's who you're sparring. You know, if I'm sparring against a beginner, I can tell them to hit me. Go ahead, hit me hard. That's why I tell a woman, go ahead, hit me. Make a closed fist. But they can't hit me. But if a person's really good, then I got to be very careful. Because then one hit could end it. So I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to make sure that I get the first hit in there, and I'm going to end it. So I'm not opposed to hitting, but taking a hit, I know that the body, the human is not designed to take a lot of damage. So put any of these cage fighters right here in front of me, and then I'll be like, all right, you know, can you take a hit? All right, let me grab my bat. Right? Let me just give you one hit, just one. All right, just stand there, and I just get the bat and I just swing as hard as I possibly can right in his face. What do you think is gonna happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference with that and then allowing somebody to do a roundhouse kick right to your face as hard as you can?
Yeah.
Nobody can take a hit. You know, like, what does taking a hit mean? Oh, take a hit when a person's wearing a big ass boxing glove on? Oh, that's taking a hit? How's that taking a hit? You know, it's like, no, take the boxing glove off. Like, if you guys are so hardcore, take the boxing glove off. You know, and on top of that, you know, if you're so damn hardcore, where the hell are the weapons? You know what I'm saying? Like, take a hit in a knife fight, take a hit in a gun fight. You know, like, you're so damn hardcore, then why don't you fight 2 against 1? How come none of these cage fighters fight against 2 against 1? That's not real? Well, that's not real. 2 against 1, that's not real. Like, how's that not real? Like, 2 against 1 is not real. Tell me the 2 against 1 not real. How come it ain't no McGregor against Ronda Rousey? They're both famous. Why don't you just have them fight against each other? What, ain't real? Like, how's that not real? You know what I'm saying? Like, a man fighting against a woman, that's not real? As real as it gets, that's not real. You know what I'm saying? Like, Have McGregor fight against Rousey. No holds barred. See what happens. Tell me what's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, taking a hit.
Right.
You know, I'll be happy to live till I'm 100 because I don't need to take hits. I know what I could do. But all these fighters, these boxers, they're dying age 40, 30. Look at Slice already. Kimbo Slice already dead. There's a lot of fighters that are dying. A lot of football, not just cage fighters. Football players, boxers, WrestleMania people, wrestlers. Look at all these people dying. Even bodybuilders, because they don't take care of themselves. They don't train properly. Everybody's dying early. Look at you. The whole list of bodybuilders dying like by the age of 30.
Yeah.
So bodybuilders, cage fighters, football players. I mean, the list goes on. But a real martial artist. You know, if Bruce Lee was still living, that would be an amazing example, but he's not still living. So let's look at Jackie Chan, he's not, you know, but let's look at Jet Li. Let's look at somebody like Danny Insano. He's still like in his 70s or whatever. Look at Chuck Norris. Right. You know, like martial artists that are still living. I want to live till I'm 100. I don't want to die at the age of 40. So I don't want to take a hit. I don't need to take a hit. But if you give me $3 million, you'd be like, hey, you know, let him punch you with this boxing glove. It's going to be hard to resist that. Maybe you just do it one time. Hey, you know, hit me. Bam! All right, $3 million. All right, that's it. I don't got to do no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll let you hit me for $3 million. But if they say, oh, you don't got to let him hit you, just go ahead and just get away as well. Then that's shit. I won't even get hit. I hit him and then I get $3 million. Shit, that's all good for me. I didn't even have to take a hit. I gave him the hit and I get $3 million. I mean, it's just like, it's enticing.
Right.
But the problem is you don't just do it one time. You got to do it over and over and over again to build up till you can get 100,000, whatever the case may be. So all that time, all those years of taking those hits, and then you finally, if even getting that money, because most of the time, 99%, you're not even going to get there. Yeah. So you're just taking all these hits, and you're not making any money. You're losing money. You're in the hospital. You make absolutely nothing, and now your brain's all fucked up. And you don't get nothing out of it. That's the reality. Like, Mayweather was born into boxing, into the industry. We're not. So even if I'm good, it doesn't mean that they're going to throw me in a cage and give me $5 million to be in there for 15 seconds. You know, Rousey has that luxury, but I don't. So why will I sustain hits? For what? I'm not getting paid. What? I'm not going to get famous. What? It's just like to satisfy those instigators and those shit talkers. Like, you're not getting anything out of it. You know, you're just not. And even the research is showing, even football players have helmets on and they're still getting CTE. And they're not even supposed to be getting hit in the head. The sport is not designed to cause head damage. It's not supposed to. But they're getting CTE. They're dying early. Think about a boxer. Think about a cage fighter. It's even worse than football. So, what I train is the real. Every time you go to the firing range, you better be scared of those people because they could kill any of those cage fighters, no problem, no issues. You know, like old 60-year-old pulls out a gun, bam! I mean, that's the real. The police is the real. Let's have a cage fighter go against the police, see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the real. I'm telling you, like, I know what's real. You know, so it's just about intelligence. I mean, knowing how to spar, who to spar, how to control yourself. Because you want to control yourself. When you have an advantage on somebody, you got to control yourself. Because in the other side of it, you want them to have some compassion for you too. And you don't want to hurt each other. Just always think about sparring your family, your brother, your sister, your father, your grandma, your grandfather. Sparring against your family, your friends. Why would you want to hurt them? You're not supposed to be sparring against enemies. Mm-hmm. You know, you might fight against enemies, but when you fight, you know, in my eyes, you might fight. You pretty much might fight to kill. And if you're not going to fight to kill, then why are you fighting? Just don't even fight. You know, so I don't want to spar against the enemy. I don't. I don't want to fight against the enemy, but if he forces me to, then I'll fight to protect my life and to protect the future of my children and my friends and my school. The school is shut down if I'm dead. My parents won't have a son. My children won't have a father. So I'm fighting for everything. If somebody's threatening my life, I'm fighting for everything. And you damn well better believe that I'll kill the person. No problem. I have absolutely no remorse to kill somebody that's trying to take my life. And that's real survival. But I don't want to get to that. I don't want to have to deal with taking somebody else's life. I don't have to deal with going to court. I don't have to deal with proving that I'm innocent. I don't have to deal with a grieving family. I don't have to deal with retaliation. I don't have to deal with any of that. So getting into this mess is not a smart thing to do when you're dealing with unintelligent people. You're telling me people that get hit in the brain constantly, they just can't even think right. So try to talk, reason with them, they just don't get it. So you just have to leave them alone. You know, it's like dealing with somebody that has autism or Down syndrome. There's really nothing you can do. They're born like that. So just leave them alone. So I'm not going to make fun of them anymore. I'm not going to talk trash about them. I just leave them alone. You know, let them do their thing. When I make these videos, it's just speaking out to the intelligent people out there to make the right decision for yourself, to be an intelligent person. You're like right now, like even we're talking about how mature you are for your age. Like we all think you're already in college, but you hold yourself that way. But imagine if you got into cage fighting or combat sport and then you lose your intelligence. You come back here, you don't remember anything. You don't remember anybody's name. You don't remember what you did yesterday. You don't remember where you left your keys. And then you just get violent and angry for no reason at all. You know, somebody just looked at you the wrong way. Now you're pissed off. You know, and somebody said something wrong. Now you're just pissed off and you want to kill somebody. I mean, that's how a lot of these people are. And that's a very dangerous route. And I don't want people to go in that route. I want people to be smart with the things that they decide to do. Martial arts is a beautiful thing, but if you do it the wrong way, it can be very ugly very fast. It can be very dangerous. And you know, people talk about gangs, but it's, you know, you could pretty much become like a gang member in the martial arts because you have that mentality. Not all gang members are bad people, but not all martial artists are good people either. There's some people that practice it that use it for the wrong reasons, and then they get into the wrong path. So my thing is to try to teach people to go to the right path. You know, that's all it is, you know, to use your intelligence before it's too late. Because once you, there's no regeneration. Once you destroy your brain cells, there's no turning back. But if you bruise up your arm, you bruise up your chest, you know, even you bruise up your thigh, it's going to heal. But up here, it doesn't heal. So there's no such thing as taking a punch or taking a hit. It's just sparring intelligently so you don't get hit. And Mayweather knows it. You know, and that's the way he boxes, and he's the #1, and he's undefeated. There's a lot of people that talk trash, but he's the richest athlete out there, and he knows how to do it. He's smart, he's intelligent, he knows what he's doing. Bruce Lee was the same way, you know. He knew, you know, that it's not good to get hit. So he's always trying to perfect his technique so he doesn't get hit. And that's what I try to do. Keep perfecting it so you don't get hit. Because you can't afford to get hit. I know I can't afford to get hit. I might be strong, but there's a lot of people out there way stronger than me. You know, I might be able to take a hit, but I can only take so much. So just think about it like this too, you know. People that take a hit, but it's like, all right, then do the splits. Oh, you can't do the splits. Why? Oh, because I feel pain. Well, you can't handle pain. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know, you can take a hit, but you can't do the splits, right? Oh, you can't take the pain. Too much pain. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you can take a hit up here, but then down there you can't take the pain. It's like, what are they trying to prove? You can take pain, right? But you can't do the splits. Why? Obviously, you can't take pain. You know, so not everybody, the body's not designed to take unlimited pain. Everybody feels pain. So I recognize that. And I know that my brain is very fragile and I need to protect that. So I don't want to go too far. You know, I want to just, you know, take it easy. You know, so if somebody hits me really hard in the sparring, then it shows that I got to get better at getting away. You know, I'm not going to be angry at the person because they expose the weakness, and I need to get better at what I do. But I take a break, you know, be like, you know what, let's take a break. I don't need to fight until round 15, and then I'm barely breathing, and you know, I don't need to do what Muhammad Ali did. That's just ridiculous. You know, I respect him as a person and his skill, but I don't respect the ego that got in the way that pretty much ended his life earlier than necessary. You know, he's a wise person. It's just sad that he stopped talking. You know, he could have been such a bigger inspiration for people if he lived longer with health. Right. But the boxing ego destroyed him. And I'm not going to let that destroy me. You know, I know when to let it go. If somebody wants to kill me over pride, shit, man, I'm cool, man. Don't worry about it. You win. I don't need to fight you. Take the belt, whatever. You know, just letting go. I don't need to fight. You know, I got enough money. I'm cool. You know, I got what I need. Like, what am I fighting for? For what? Fame? I mean, what, fame so that people could harass me and kill me? Assassin me? Like, what do I need fame for? I don't need millions of dollars. I got enough money. Like, what am I fighting? What's my motivation to fight? There is none. You know, if I'm really angry, shit, I don't want to fight because I don't want to be in jail. You know, so it's the spiritual. It's very spiritual. You know, and you have to learn this if you want to grow and be a better person. So at this age, if you learn this now, then it can help you for the rest of your life, and then you could live until you're 100. But if you don't learn this now, you go the wrong path, you might die at the age of 40. I mean, that's how critical this moment is for a martial artist. Because you're at the age right now, at the age of 18, where you can go to combat sport and be successful if you wanted to, or if you want to go that direction, or you could go the martial arts direction. But for me, I'm already 35, you know, it's almost time, the combat sport era is pretty much over. Even if I wanted to go that route, it's almost getting too late because I'm really old already, you know. But for somebody younger, like 20 years old, it's a critical decision right there. Do you want to go towards this, or do you want to go through that, you know? Ready to go?
Oh, well, I was going to bow out. I know you all.
Yeah, just bow out with them. Thank you. But yeah, any other thing for that one?
No, that's good.
Okay, that's good.